Bless the Lord, oh my soul. All within me, bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Forget not all his benefits. He forgives all your sin. He heals all your brokenness. He redeems your life from the pit. Crowns you with mercy, crowns you with love. Slow to anger, rich in love. His compassion rises like the sun from the heavens, high above. Great is his love for everyone. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Every heart be given him praise. As far as the east from the west, he has carried my sins away. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Let his mercy cover the night. From everlasting to everlasting, his kingdom rules in light. Justice for all who are oppressed. He made his ways known to Moses, his acts to the children of Israel. As a father has compassion on the children that he loves, so the Lord shows compassion to the ones who fear his name. He remembers we are dust. Our days are like the grass, but his mercy never fades. His faithfulness will last. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Every heart be given him praise. As far as the east from the west, he has
Order
carried
filled.
my sins away. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Let his mercy cover the night.
Order filled.
From everlasting to everlasting, his kingdom rules in light.
I was singing mercy and justice to you, oh Lord, I'll make my song. I'll walk within my house with honor and keep my heart from doing wrong. I will say no wicked thing before my eyes are in my way. The proud will not endure with me. Truth and love will light my day. I'll stand in faith, I'll stand in grace, in purity before your face. I'll guard my steps, I'll guard my gate. My heart and soul will celebrate. I will sing of your mercy, I will dance to your justice, in the rhythm of your glory. My heart beats in your promise. I will walk in your presence till
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday's live stream, the Purpose Driven Trader live stream. Glad that you're here. Welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Good morning. How's everybody's trading yesterday? Yesterday was a great day. We ended up about $300 on each of my accounts. One trade, one and done. I take that back. I got stopped out on a runner and re-entered and then made some more money. Sorry if my throat sounds a little groggy this morning, because it is. Something's in my throat. I don't like this music. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Let's see what this sounds like. Good morning, Marcelo, Valado, Martino, Vic, RMP, Caxton, Andrew, or Andre, Eric, Wawa, good morning, Jose, good morning, Kay, Troy, John, Jeff, Sully, good morning. Robot. Good morning, Monet, or Mo NYC, I should say. Dragon, good morning. All right, we're gonna mark our daily levels here. Go ahead and follow along. Let's mark our dailies. Yesterday was a double break day and ended up higher on the second break. So we broke the first one, broke the second one, went lower, and then came back and broke higher. Today's Wednesday, so that means it could be hump day for the market, meaning we've made our highs, maybe. We'll see. And we'll see if the high is made today for the week. We're still inside the daily fair value gap here. We've filled the majority of it. If we're going to see lower prices, we don't want to see it completely filled. So if it's going to go lower, I would say it needs to go lower here, and the high has been put in on Tuesday. We got this daily order block here. A lot of resistance if it wants to go higher right here, but nice liquidity right there. For those of you that have been waiting for the trade companion to be released, I am working on the video as we speak. Looking on creating that video and having it out sometime next week. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. Next week. We should see that. All right, dropping down to the 4 hour. Let's take a look. So here is the market from Thursday into Friday. Big sell-off into Friday's close, hitting the monthly fair value gap. I have a Fibonacci anchored from the high to the low. We've moved through the equilibrium with a fair value gap on the 4 hour time frame and closed through that and back into this 4 hour fair value gap right there. This 4 hour fair value gap is my level to determine if we're seeing shorts or longs. Could you go short inside here? Sure, but it would be more temporary. Short term. We got this 4 hour sitting above us, overlapping the 70% level of OTE. And I want you to see how powerful OTE is. So if we look at this drop here, what did price eventually come up to? It came back up to the last 4 hour fair value gap, but look at what this level is going to overlap with. And I haven't even done this yet, but I'm guessing. So there's the OTE there, just beneath the 4 hour fair value gap. If we wanted to get more accurate, you would get rid of the wicks and you'd do the bodies. Here's another one. From this low to this high to this low, it comes back up to 70%. How much further does it go? It goes 60 points higher. But this dealing range here, 50% level, is sitting inside of the daily fair value gap. So that's a very strong level in my opinion. The 4 hour here has also been tagged. All right, here's market open right now. Let's go ahead, open in prayer. My throat's a little groggy, I apologize. Father, we just come before you. Thank you for a wonderful day. Thank you for your provision, your faithfulness. Lord, that you are constantly in pursuit of our hearts. Lord, I pray that we would be an example, that we would be the hands and feet of Jesus, that we would reflect you in everything we say and do. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, from an hourly perspective, we have this hourly fair value gap. Did we tag that on London High's push here? I don't think so. That looks attractive there, folks. That 1 hour SIBI sitting right above London High. That's probably the most attractive area. We got equal highs there as well from an hourly perspective. Midnight open sitting right there. Yeah, I mean those are my favorite. London highs and lows and midnight opens that haven't been tagged yet. That's what I would prefer to target. That's what I'd prefer to go after, if that's possible. Oh, I need to sit up straight here. My back. If we're gonna wait on the 4 hour though, we would want to wait for that 4 hour to close in 30 minutes. I mean, it doesn't have to wait because technically that 4 hour fair value gap is still there. That's looking good. I might do an eval trade right here. See if it wants to go.
Order filled.
I'm going to do an eval trade right here off of this fair value gap. See if it wants to run the London high. And if it closes below the first presented fair value gap, then we will close the position. Why does that say order filled? Order filled. Should have fixed that. Georgette, if the 1 hour closes above the London high, does that become an order block? Yes, it does. It would become an order block if we close below these two down close candles here. Let's see, that would be here on the hourly. If it closes below these two down close candles, those would become an order block, yes. No, London high hasn't been taken. It's been tagged. Equal highs. It's going to be taken here any second. That's the... Let's see if it goes. This is the eval trade that I'm taking. London high would be right there. 173. Right at the high. If it closes below the fair value gap here, then I close the position. Alright, looks like it's going to close. We're going to close it there. Isn't that nice? You see how it's just very volatile? This is one of the reasons why I stay out of the market with my funded accounts for the first 15 minutes. it just can go back and forth at times, and it can, your standard set of rules can just stop you out, and it can still run the target. You see what I'm saying? So theoretically, like what I would want to do, or what you would want to see, is it to come down here and then wick back up because of all the volatile candles. Because that was the inversion, or that was the fair value gap that turned in now into an inversion. This was a fair value gap, right? It was the first presented fair value gap. If this finds support, then likely we go higher. But if it violates, likely we go lower. But in the first few minutes of the market open, you can see it's just going back and forth through it. Yeah, we should push through this level here. We're probably gonna have to wait for it to hit before we are able to do anything. All right, so there is London high. There's the 4-hour tag and the hourly tag as well. My guess is we're going to reach a little bit higher. Our new day opening gap is sitting way up here. No, I'm not. I am not in a trade. I'm just waiting. Just waiting. Waiting for one more minute, and then we should get our green light. So 15-minute candle is going to close here in 45 seconds. Closing above here would be a order block. Be a nice breaker area. Price come back down into it. The thing about the 15-minute though is you have to wait. You just got to give the 15-minute time if you're going to base it off of that. Alright, so there's the 15-minute close. Right, nice, bullish, strong candle. We're going to have another 15-minute candle close before that becomes a fair value gap. So my guess is there's a chance that we just run all of this. I don't like how messy this was right here. And if you go up in the time frames, it's not like we've hit something else. We never hit the 2-minute there. We did dip into the 3-minute fair value gap, so maybe the 3-minute looks nice. And that was a nice tag of this right there. Midnight open's been tagged as well. Previous day high is sitting up here. New day opening gap, Asia high, and then the opening range gap is sitting right there. Still reason for us to go higher if it wants to. The strategy I trade is breakers and inversions. Good morning, Bella. Any updates on gold? I haven't looked at gold in a while. What's gold doing? 4,100. About time we go higher. I think we'll probably reach up to this volume imbalance here. What's left of it. Silver, $60. Silver and gold, they love war. Bitcoin is at 66. We should fill some of these imbalances here. What a candle on the 3-minute. See what that looks like on the 5-minute. It's gonna close bearish here in 40 seconds. I'm interested in 10 o'clock. At this point, we've hit the liquidity points, and we have a 4-hour candle changing in 10 minutes. That's going to be a factor in, is this candle going to be bullish up here, or is it going to stay down here while tagging a 4-hour fair value gap. That could be a reason to go lower here, folks. So we're going to get more value out of waiting 9 minutes than trying to take a trade right now. Sure, nice inversion right there. Killer inversion. Target's down here. Risk to reward's not that bad either. But you need to be pretty convinced that we're running short, we're running lower here. That's the only way you'd want to take that. I want to see another swing high here. It would give me some structure to work with. So MZPR. What I'm referring to is directional bias. I'm not taking an entry off of a 15-minute inversion. Or I'm not taking an entry off of a hourly inversion. I'm using that as my bias. It still applies whether you're on the 1 minute or the hourly or the 4 hour. You're not going to take an entry on it. You're going to go to a lower time frame for an entry. At least I do. And I'll use that as my narrative on price. For example, even though we're on the 1 minute time frame, what does this inversion tell us? Okay, here's an inversion that took place. Boom. What does this inversion tell us? This inversion tells us that sellers are not in control. Because it failed. It failed. This is a failed inversion to the downside. So we can use that to our advantage and say, okay, bulls are in control. Where at one point could they not be in control, and can we participate in a move? Good morning, Trader Al. That's how you approach higher time frames. So the 15 minutes going to close here, okay? So the 15 minute is going to gave us an inversion here. It doesn't mean I'm taking an entry right here. It means I'm looking for my long entry based on my model. And this is looking very bullish. We'll see how it closes in 5 minutes. Yeah, it has to close though. The 4 hour inverted has to close. That 4 hour is right there. So if you see this candle close above that, or this next 5 minute candle right here close above it, then yes, we have a 4 hour and a 1 hour inversion. I mean, right now it's longs, but before I can get into a long, I needed to run the other direction here. Good morning. Not trading related. Will you get a tag for the Discord? I don't understand. Georgette has an open position since Friday. Wow. To go long? I'm assuming to go long. Nice job. Well, it's going. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna fight this giant bar of an hourly candle. I'm gonna look for longs. I'm not gonna try to think it's gonna go short here. It's telling us it wants to go long. Support of the 4 hour, inversion of this SIBI 4 hour. Right here. There's the 4 hour support. And there's the 4 hour inversion, most likely. We have a minute left for it to find out. I mean, that's probably where it could be going. There's just no entry for me right now. All right, so look at that massive 4 hour candle. and hourly candle. So I want you to take note of something. Look when this run started. The run started right around 9 o'clock here. And since then, we have just been pushing higher. And at 10 o'clock, we've made our high. When you see an hour of expansion, anticipate that the next hour is consolidation. Or it could be a continuation of it. But in this case, it very well could be that. Giving the retracement here first and then pushing higher. That's the only way I would look at it. So I'm going to look for a long to see if it wants to. That long is probably going to be inside and around this fair value gap here. Overlapping with this order block here. Seeing if we can find support and move higher to here. There is a fair value gap that's down here that it could reach for. But we got to be careful that we're just not retracing to enter consolidation and do something like this for a little bit. But even still, if it comes down to here and it looks decent, maybe we get a breaker or an inversion, you could take a target up to, up here somewhere. ES ran previous day high. Did I move that? Let me just confirm. Yes, ES did run previous day high. That also, that 1 minute fair value gap overlaps with the 5 minute fair value gap here. And in 15 minutes, we're going to have or in 7 minutes, we're going to have another candle here. And then a dip down into this 15 minute fair value gap is what I anticipate. So if we get close to the 15 minute closing and we've already tagged the 5 minute and the 1 minute, then I would be waiting for the 15 minute candle to close to give me the dip into here. It could not give me the dip. Came pretty close to the 5 minute. Five minutes really close here. We still got a little bit of time here. So what I'm going to be looking for is now this 15 minute. It's not unreasonable to take this inversion right here too. from the 5-minute and a 1-minute tag what I wanted, what I was interested at 50%. I might take that. Did that close through it? I can't tell. No, I mean right on the level, I guess. I might close this. This next candle needs to close above it. If it doesn't, I'll close the position, because I don't like when it lands right on the levels. Yeah, I'm gonna close it. I don't like that. I'll wait for something better. Now, if it gives me an order block here and then closes above it, that's what I'll take. That would be more attractive. The creation of an order block and then the close above, I would consider that. I'll accept that I was wrong or that I didn't like it and take a small little pinch to protect my positions more. Now, ES hit the high. NQ didn't. We still have liquidity above. Down at the body. I wouldn't count the wick. Alright, so here's the new 15-minute candle. We'll watch this drop into this, most likely. Alright, so there's the 15-minute. It looks like we're going to get an inversion on that 1 minute. So then the next 1 minute is down here. Yeah, so we got an inversion on that. So we're sitting here waiting. What's up, Kay? Typically I just wait for the next day. Now just remember, I'm not interested in shorts because of the 1 hour and 4 hour inversion to the upside. London high would be a nice breaker level. It's right at the order block. The 5 minute is giving us some strength right here. All right, so the 5 minute gave us a nice, here's our 1 minute again, here's our low high, lower low. If we can get above here and find support back right here, I'll look at a long. This is a displacing candle. I like it. I like how the strength of it, but I need to see follow through from it, and for it to give me this, give us an inversion to the upside as well as the little dip down into it for the long. Good morning, Josiah. All right, so here's the close above. This is what I like. Now I just want to drop. I just want a little tag. Just a little tag. I don't want it to just take off. All right, I'm gonna take the long right there. Stop will be this inverting this fair value gap here. don't like the risk to reward. I don't like the risk to reward. Okay, so there is the breaker. Oh, don't give me that. Hard stop's gonna be at this low. Yeah. All right, I was wrong. I can't take that much risk by letting it come all the way down here on one candle, even though we've inverted that 1 minute fair value gap. So why did I take the trade? Because I had the breaker of what I wanted to see. I had the 15-minute tag, the 5-minute tag. I had enough of what I wanted to see if we had the willingness to move higher. It wasn't just some random trade. We tagged the 5-minute. It gave us some very good, a nice large wick here, strength. 15-minute. At the time, this was a big green candle right here with a big wick into the 15-minute fair value gap. So at a minimum, I could target that. It just didn't go. It didn't go. The risk to reward for my first contract. I'm looking at this high. That's a good risk to reward. The swing high right here, from where I was, it was like 20 handles for a 26 handle stop loss. Look at the tag of midnight open right there. Yeah, the idea was there. Trade just didn't play out, and you just have to accept the loss. That's it. I got stopped out. All right, the only other long that I'm going to take is if we can get down into this breaker and maybe even tag this 15-minute as well. And then I'll look for a long here. The breaker also would overlap with this hourly breaker. I'd almost bet that this is going to make a failure swing. Take a short here type situation. Not financial advice. A lot of waiting, a lot of sitting. $30-minute looks good there. For maybe a little dip down into here. This is the exciting part of trading. This is what I look forward to getting up to every morning. All right, I want to see this follow through. I want to see a follow through right here. At least down into here. Maybe even down here. But the breaker for sure is sitting right there below London low. Thanks, my friend. I appreciate that. I greatly appreciate that. That's the environment I want to create. Okay, new 5-minute candle here. All right, here's a big candle. Let's see if we can get a follow through here. At least down to there. There we go. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. Okay, I'm liking this direction that we're going here. The question though is, if we get a reaction from right here. Okay, look at that. It tagged London. It tagged London low, the high right there. So if I take this wick right there and I take the breaker, see how it tagged it? Okay. So we've done the tag. It's still a little early. I'm going to be patient and not jump to any conclusions yet. Ultimately, I'm looking for longs. Ultimately, what I want is longs. So right now, treat this as our consolidation. And this right now is our peak, or it's poking out. So if we go back into the range, I anticipate that we run all the way through it. So this inversion is an option on the table. I'm just leaving things open right now to see if it wants to go, excuse me, any lower. Not if you go fishing at my lake, Walter. You go fishing at our lake, you're gonna catch something in 5 minutes. 3 minutes. You just throw that bait in the water and fish jump on it. It's crazy. I love fishing at our lake. There's so much fish in there. During the springtime, my boys would catch, in one day they caught about 60 fish. 18 or 20 fish a kid. We were there for a couple hours. I know. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Just yank them out of there. Either is an option, lad. Either is an option. I typically take it on the close. Alright, I'm going to take this if it gives it to me. And this will be my last opportunity. It looks good. It tagged the fair value gap I wanted. It did close below the 5 minute, but the 15 minute, it technically closed below the 15 minute as well. Not very clean, is it? Not very clean at all. I don't think we need to go back in here, especially since we tapped London exactly. Well, let's see here. Do I want to enter? Let's take a small position long and let's see if this holds. Hang on. Okay. Right there. This right here is the inversion model that I teach in the 30-day in the 30-day roadmap. This is that entry. Now your first point of liquidity, or your first target, is technically right here. And I might add a position so I can take one off as to show you guys how to manage that risk. All right, so I'll add one more contract here for right now, and then your first target is this swing high right here. When you run that swing high, you should take profit. But if we run this swing high, we might run the second swing high. So these are the two swing highs that I'm looking at. And once you hit that swing high, you should move your stop to break even. Let's see if it can give it to us. The risk to reward isn't that bad also for this inversion right here. Unless it runs all the way down to the bottom. All right, still in the trade. That wick, that wick is in our favor now. So much so, I would almost add another contract. At least in my favor. We'll see if it pulls. Like I said, this is my last trade. Nope. You're gonna give it to us? Okay, so there's the invalidation of the inversion. Okay, so you can close your position right there. You can move your stop to the swing low, is what I'm going to do. First TP is going to be at that initial swing high. If we can get there. If we get there, most likely we're going to run all of these. It's trying. Nope. We're gonna get stopped right here. Alright, stopped out, guys. Not the best. I'm glad we stopped out there, though, isn't it? Because if it wants to drop hard, that's where it drop hard. Alright, well, we're just missing it today, so I'm gonna call it a day. Basically ended up losing my profits from yesterday. That's what got erased. Down about $220. All right, I'm gonna call it a day here, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, you guys stay safe. I don't have one this morning. I'll do an affirmation for you guys tomorrow. The summertime has been ruthless to my scheduling and my schedules for my time with the Lord, with kids being at home and everything else. So we will get back into the routine of it. The routine of affirmations is what I'm saying. So we'll be back here tomorrow, guys. God bless and stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.